If there's one thing I've seen pretty much every single Sonic tuber do, and one thing that loads of Sonic fans love, it's tier listing stuff. I've seen it so much on YouTube, it's crazy. So it's my turn now. Today, I'm going to be tier listing every single mainline Sonic game, with a couple of exceptions. From D tier to S tier, D being the worst and S being the best. Some of these opinions may shock you, others you may be disappointed or impressed about, and some you might want to put me and burn me at the stake. But that doesn't matter, does it? Now, let's get into the tier listing, starting off with the D tier.
Barely made it.
This is where the worst of the worst Sonic games are, so get ready for some really bad games. Do I even need to say anything? Like, we all know what this is. Do I need to explain why this game is the worst Sonic game of all time? Okay. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, and why it is the worst Sonic game of all time. In fact, you know what? I was planning to do a review on every single Sonic game. This is part review, part tier listing Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, because I am not reviewing this game. No way. You know what? I'm so upset that this game even exists. I'm not even spending more than like a minute on this game. You know what? Why is it so bad? Awful gameplay, Sonic isn't fast, the Knuckles is broken, all the characters suck, horrible story, and even the most best part about every Sonic game, the music, horrible. Not a singular banger. Okay? Next game. What's next? I found this funny glitch while recording the video, and I don't really know where to put it. Sonic Forces is our first classic case of Sega could have made a banger game, but didn't for some reason. I mean, with the past couple of games couple of games that I'm going to mention, there were a couple of reasons why this didn't happen with but with Sonic Forces, I don't really see the reason. I mean, they had Morio Kishimoto for director of this game, who directed Frontiers, which you'll see how much I like that game very soon. So I don't really know what happened with Forces. I don't know how they screwed up so badly. Like, what happened? What did they do? What did Sega do? Did they give them like a budget of $2? What happened here? The thing that a lot of people don't like about Sonic Forces is how short the game is. You can beat the game in about 2 hours, 3 hours at most, and on my first playthrough I didn't run into too many troubles. Each level was stupid easy until like Final Judgment, but we're not gonna talk about that. The game is just stupid easy. 2, the game does not control well. Like, we went from Sonic Unleashed in Generations, which, yeah, Modern Sonic didn't control well, but he wasn't this bad. I mean, I don't know. And Classic Sonic controls somehow worse than Generations, which is not like to say that Generations Classic Sonic controlled worse, but this is the worst control of Classic Sonic we've ever had. And the avatar is kind of useless in my opinion. People were like, look, my avatar, original the character, do not steal, can be with Sonic, I'm friends with Sonic. Get a life. Get a life. I'm sorry. Stop it. It's literally a video game. And I never saw the point of original the character. Like, I had him, it was kind of cool, but nothing cool. And like, there's so many parts that they reused from like previous games. There's only one original stage idea, oh sorry, 2, and that's it. No other original stage. Green Hill and Chemical Planet are back again for like the 20 millionth time, because we needed more of those 2 stages. And of course, they reused the Colors boss for the 3rd time. We'll get to when they reused it for the 2nd time. Like, it's insane. The game was not made well, and I don't know how they screwed up with this one, because this should have been a home run for Sega, except it wasn't. The only real positive that I can really mention about Forces is the music, but the thing is, you can say that about every single Sonic game. There's not a singular Sonic game, except for Sonic Boom, that the OST sucked. I mean, I can find at least like 3 really good songs in every Sonic game. So if that is taken out of the case, the only other thing is visuals. The visuals of Sonic Forces are beautiful. The game looks stunning. It's really good looking, and it's all wasted, which is so sad. And all those combined, Sonic Forces is the D tier. Unfortunately, it could have been a great game, but Sega squandered it. as per usual. To some of you, this might be like a huh moment, and I can get that. Sonic Lost World before 06 in Shadow? How could you say this? I've got my reasons, don't worry. And this is not even the most controversial take of the video. Oh boy! The reason I think Lost World is worse is because I just don't like the gameplay. Like, Mario Galaxy is like not even my favorite 3D Mario game, and like out of like if I had to pick between Sunshine 64 and Odyssey, I'd say and Galaxy, I'd say Galaxy is my least favorite. And Sonic Lost World is basically Galaxy but Sonic. Story is not good, and the only reason it's above the previous two games is one, the OST is great as always. Two, it's actually fun. So there are parts where it's fun. There are a couple of levels that I genuinely like, and I can come back to the game and then play those like 2 levels and then be happy. But with those other games that I previously mentioned, Forces and Boom Rise of Lyric, I don't want to come back to these games after I beat them. In fact, yeah, no. The Lost World at least has some of that fun in it.
Huh, no problem.
Here we are in the C tier. These games are not as bad as the D tier, but they're definitely not games I would recommend a casual person to play. Not even a hardcore Sonic fan. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to try. I mean, I did.
First of all, your Jordans are completely fake.
Now seems a good a time as any to explain why in God's name Secret Rings in 06 failed so hard. Well, it's quite simple actually. Sonic's 15th anniversary was approaching, and Sega decided to go big with it. But instead of giving, Sonic Team the appropriate time to create good and polished games, they decided to rush Sonic Team out. And essentially, they wanted a brand new, fully fledged 3D Sonic game on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and on the Wii. And in order to get that, they split the team in half. Half would be doing it for next-gen consoles, the other half would be doing it for Wii. After Sonic Team realized those 6 would fail, they knew that they had to create a different game for even a chance of succeeding on the Wii. And Sonic and the Secret Rings was created. It did not succeed whatsoever, so that plan went to... So as of recording this video, I have not finished Sonic and the Secret Rings. In fact, I'm not even close to finishing Sonic and the Secret Rings. I think I'm on like the 3rd world. I'm on Dinosaur Jungle. But I'm not close to finishing the game yet. But what I've played, this is another case of, wow, this game could have had potential if Sonic Team made it just better. And there's only really one big complaint I have with the game, and that is its controls. These controls suck, and there's no other words for them. Like, look at the way Sonic controls. Just to go forwards and backwards. And you know what's the most frustrating part? The fact that this could have been easily fixed, because at the time the nunchuck already existed. So why didn't they do that? I don't know, it's Sonic Team, they make stupid decisions all the time. But apart from the controls, this game is actually really good. The soundtrack is honestly really amazing, and the locations are beautiful, and as well as the story being really good as well. So another case of Sega screwing up, or Sonic Team screwing up, either because they didn't know enough about the Wii, or just not enough time. Alright, well, I don't know if people saw this coming or not, but next in line is the original Sonic the Hedgehog for the Genesis. Now, when it comes to ranking this game, I'm not talking about its ports and origins, nor any of its ports. I'm talking about the original game on the Genesis, because to me, it would be unfair to compare a more enhanced port of the game. So, let's talk about Sonic 1 and why I believe it belongs in the C tier. Now, I made a whole review essay on Sonic 1 already, and if anyone's interested, check that out. I'll probably put the link in the description, but overall, I think that Sonic 1 revolutionized gaming. That cannot be denied, but there are really some pretty bad parts in Sonic 1, starting with the fact that most zones are really, really slow, and I really don't like them, except for like Starlight and Green Hill. All the other zones I personally really dislike. I don't know, they're either just not fun, or they are too slow to get through. And also, there's no spin dash in Sonic 1. and that makes the game feel a heck of a lot slower. So overall, Sonic 1 is just not good in my eyes. It's a great game and it started one of the best franchises of all time in my opinion, but the original game just does not stand up to its future 2D counterparts.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Ah, of course, my guilty pleasure, Shadow the Hedgehog. This is genuinely, for some reason, one of my, weirdest picks when it comes to tier listing Sonic games, because Shadow is usually very hated, you know, which I can understand why. I mean, it's a pretty bad game, and hearing Shadow say damn every 2 seconds is hilarious, but I don't know, something about the game is kind of fun. Like, not like B-tiered fun, but it's still pretty fun. In fact, I play Shadow over Lost World any day, and I know that's a hot take, but that's just my opinion. Also, Shadow the Hedgehog with a gun. I rest my case. And let's end off this tier list with, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, perhaps the most infamous Sonic game of all time. While I did play it when it was still hated a lot, and not when it gained resurgence when Chaos X made PO6, I still really liked 06. Again, there were lots of infuriating parts about 06. Crisis City Mach Speed, Kingdom Valley Mach Speed section, End of the World, Silver's ball puzzle, but in the end, I had lots of fun with Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. It's not a perfect game, nowhere near that, but 06's ambition is almost unlike any Sonic game I think we've ever seen before. And Project 06 shows us that this game could have been peak. This game could have been the true Sonic Adventure 3. And again, for the same reasons I mentioned for Sonic and the Secret Rings, Sega just did not deliver with this one. And it's only because of Sega, you know, rushing Sonic Team. It's not even Sonic Team's fault at this point. And it's impressive at what they were able to make in the time that they had. 9 playable characters, in fact, with their own stages and a final story and so many bosses and so many extra missions. It's insane.
Just made it.
This is where the games truly get good. They still have their problems, but they are most definitely B-tier worthy in my opinion. While Sonic CD is much better than Sonic 1, it does have quite a bit of problems in my opinion. First, the time travel gimmick isn't much fun, as getting enough speed is nearly impossible, unless you use time travel specific springs that bounce you around, or if you're playing Sonic Origins with the drop dash. But I'm not talking about Origins CD, I'm talking about the original one. The spin dash also sucked in the original CD. But hey, we did get Sonic Boom, Amy, and Metal Sonic. We also got a fantastic OST and some really great levels, but otherwise CD isn't anything to write home about. Can I be real with you guys for a second? I really didn't like colors. Like, I'm sorry, but it was bad. The only zones that changed my mind about this game was Planet Wisp and Terminal Velocity. Otherwise, the game sucks. The Wisps are all really bad in my opinion, and the story in this game is perhaps the worst in the franchise.
Baldy nose hair! That's the best thing I've heard all day!
But hey, the OST is fire, Terminal Velocity was amazing, and I loved Planet Wisp. But a huge gripe I still have with Colors is the fact that it handles the boost formula extremely badly. Comparing this game to Unleashed is nearly impossible, because Colors relies so heavily on the usage of Wisps to get your S ranks, which in my opinion is really, really bad.
Too easy. Piece of cake.
This tier has only great games. They still have their flaws that stop them from being in the S tier, but you should definitely try all these games if you haven't. I have no words for this game but the fact that it's amazing. Starting with the fact that the story is perhaps the best in the series. Jason Griffith's performance as Sonic is absolutely incredible.
Oh, I get it. No problem. I'm used to stuff like this.
and I love it. Then the OST, man, it's amazing. Night of the Wind and Fight the Night are bangers. Also, come on, it's Sonic with a goddamn sword. That's so cool. The only reason this game isn't S tier worthy is the fact that the gameplay can be mediocre at times, but overall, Black Knight is a really amazing game, and honestly, is much better than Secret Rings. They say sequels are worse than the original. Sonic 2 takes that saying and spits on it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trumps everything that Sonic 1 did. I genuinely can't name a single thing about Sonic 2 that's worse than Sonic 1. Honestly, the zones are so much more refined and fun. Instead of having 3 long acts, we only have 2 in the game, and they never overstay their welcome. But if I'm singing its praises, why is Sonic 2 only in the A tier, not in the S tier? It's because of the last act of the game. Starting with Metropolis Zone. This zone sucks. Not only is it filled with bullshit mechanics and stupid enemy placements, it's 3 acts. Why? Then we have Sky Chase and Wing Fortress, which are both also really bad and underwhelming. And then we have Death Egg, which is just 2 back-to-back bosses. Yeah, the ending of the game is not doing it any favors, and leaves Sonic 2 in the A tier. Alright, here comes the first of the 2 hottest takes on this tier list. I don't love gens. Like, don't get me wrong, this game is great. But there are many problems with the game that I have with it. For one, the story of the game is one of the worst in the franchise. It sucks and is no fun to watch. But then we also have my main issue with the game, and that's the fact the game doesn't have the best modern Sonic gameplay, nor does it have the best classic Sonic gameplay. Modern Sonic is significantly worse in this game in my opinion than he is in Unleashed. Not just that, but the ranking system is also really sucks. You can get S rank first try on most levels. When it comes to classic though, he has no momentum and generally doesn't feel like classic Sonic. The 2D games have a much better classic Sonic gameplay. So yeah, overall, gens is not S tier worthy in my opinion. Okay, I need you all to repeat after me. This is just NeedleMouse's opinion, and I will not burn him at the stake for it. Okay? We good? Now, can I explain why I love this game? Alright, great! Sonic Heroes is absolutely goated, and there's no other words for it. Switching on the go is so cool. The levels all feel long and do not overstay their welcome, and are all really fun to go through. The final boss is badass, and What I'm Made Of is one of the best tracks in Sonic history. The only thing that I don't like about this game is that you have to play through all 4 characters' campaigns to get to Metal Overlord. Like, why? It makes Sonic Heroes a very difficult, or a very long game, and it holds this game back from the S tier. But nonetheless, I really do love this game. And yes, I do love this game over generations. I'm sorry.
That was cool!
These games are peak. There isn't any other words for them. If you like Sonic, chances are that you've played most of these games already. But if you haven't, go do that now. Pause the video. Playing these games is more important. I'm just gonna say that right now. Man, there is no other words for this game but that it's amazing. Made by a passionate team of fans, the game is the only true and the only sequel to Sonic 3. The only sequel to Sonic 3. The gameplay is just like the classic Sonic games. The first act of the zone feels like the original counterpart, but then Act 2 will introduce a brand new and really cool gimmick. The original zones are all great, and guys, come on. Studiopolis is my intro song for a reason. The only reason this isn't the best 2D game of all time is the fact that they're reusing zones again. Green Hill is back. Again. But, speaking of Sonic 3, this is where 2D Sonic peaked in my opinion. You play Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles separated, and they're both great games. But when you put them back to back and play them together, what an adventure. Let's start with the fact that they were able to tell a coherent and deep story just with 2D sprites and no dialogue. That's just amazing. A 2D game? That's incredible for 1994 as well. This gameplay is just immaculate and is so much fun. Every zone is plain fun. Sandoba is the only zone I disliked, but even that zone is just 2 acts and is not horrible. Sonic 2. I made a whole video about how peak this game is. So if you want me to go on about how Sonic 3 and Knuckles is peak for about 15 minutes, the link will be on the screen or in the description. But no, I really do think that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the best 2D platformer of all time. I'm convinced that the people that say Sonic had a rough transition into 3D have never played this game, because adventure is just incredible. While I can't say every story is great, I can say with confidence that most are. The game's focus on momentum makes it an absolute joy to play, and there are 6 different playstyles. 6! For a game made in 1998, that's incredible. The levels are all so much fun to play, and the OST, it's one of the best in the series. The only real negatives are Biggs and Amy's stories, but those don't even cover a fourth of the playing experience in SA1. The story is taken very seriously this time around, and talks about how important it is to be not greedy and the acceptance of death. Also, Open Your Heart is just amazing, man.
Sigma Alpha 2 heading due south over the city. We're en route. Everything's a go.
This is Control Tower. We have you on radar. Report cargo status of captured Hedgehog aboard. Over.
That's a 10-4. Cargo secured on board and... What?
Didn't copy that.
Hedgehog is
Over.
gone. He's taken out everyone aboard and...
What's wrong?
What in the
Come
world?
in. Over.
Freeze! What do you think you're doing? Get that Hedgehog!
Talk about low-budget flights, no food or movies. I'm out of here. I like running better. Yeah!
Sonic Adventure 2 takes its predecessor's gameplay and elevates it onto a whole different level. Every character now has their own unique levels, and instead of there being 6 different playstyles, there are only 3, and they're the best 3 from SA1. Sonic's speed stages, Knuckles' treasure hunting, and Gamma's running gun. The speed stages in SA2 easily take the cake as the best and the most fun. City Escape, Metal Harbor, Radical Highway, and Pyramid Cave, just to name a few of those amazing levels. There are also 2 different stories in the game, Hero and Dark. Hero is Sonic as Speed, Tails as Mech, and Knuckles as treasure hunting. Dark is Eggman in his mech, newcomer Rouge the Bat, and of course the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog. The story in SA2 is just as impactful and deep as SA1's, if not more so. And while yes, some of the mech stages are boring and the last couple of treasure hunting stages suck, it doesn't take away how amazing SA2 is. Live and learn, baby.
When you can't help but follow, and puts you right back where you came. Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn.
This right here is an absolutely amazing video game.
Here we go!
Unleashed is beautiful in every way. Graphically, this game can stand up even to the games that are released now. I mean, it took an Xbox Series X to run this thing at 60 FPS. The gameplay is some of the best in the series. This is the only 3D Sonic game with the boost formula that truly understands what makes the boost formula so good. Instead of the requirements for the S rank being through a gimmick or just extremely easy, the game instead requires you to know every level perfectly, put in precise inputs, rack up rings, and not get a hit in order to achieve that sweet S rank. And while yes, the Werehog isn't nearly as fun as Daytime Sonic, it doesn't mean the game is bad in any way. In fact, I quite enjoyed the Werehog. And the story, and the music, and everything just makes Sonic Unleashed one of the greatest games I have ever played in my life. I love Sonic Unleashed. But there is a singular Sonic game, just one, that does it better. The Sonic game that solidified my love for the franchise and sparked the Sonic Renaissance. So join me as we explore the final horizon and the final frontier of this video.
I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of
Maybe it's recency bias, maybe it's because I'm weird, but I love this game. I made a whole review on this game and on Update 3, so if anyone's interested in watching a full review, I'm gonna leave it in the description, but I'll recap what I said now. This game is amazing. When you take the current frontiers after its 3 updates, the game is just awesome. The gameplay is fun and addicting, the combat is fun, the music is amazing, the story is the best since Black Knight, and the bosses are the best in the series by far. The brand new playable characters are some of the best they have ever been. Amy and Tails in particular play better than they ever have before. Overall, Sonic Frontiers is just an amazing game that makes me feel so optimistic about the future of Sonic the Hedgehog. Also, come on, Super Sonic 2. Amazing. So, a whole ass Sonic game dropped just like a couple of days ago, you know, Sonic Superstars. So, let me just quickly add in the Superstars section here and now. I'm not gonna go back and edit. You're just gonna hear my opinions on Superstars right now. So, I already made a full review on Sonic Superstars, so if anyone's interested in checking that out, you're more than welcome to. Link will probably be in the description. If not, here is my overall opinions. I think that Superstars is a great step forward in classic Sonic. I think that it's better than Sonic 2, CD, and 1, but I don't think it reaches the highs of Mania nor 3 and Knuckles, which is why I'm putting Sonic Superstars at the top of the A tier. It's a really fun classic Sonic game, but some of the zones aren't fun. The music isn't always as good as, you know, Mania's and 3 and Knuckles is. The bosses can be really bad at times. And yeah, just overall, Sonic Superstars isn't as good as Sonic 3 and Knuckles nor Sonic Mania. It just isn't. So which is why I'm putting the game in the top of the A tier. And yeah, that's the tier list that I have put in front of you. Please don't kill me in the comments. This is my opinion. This is what I personally view on the Sonic franchise. If you guys like this video, I'll make a part 2 where I rank all of the side games, including Riders, including some of the Master System games. But at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. And it really doesn't matter, because we still all love Sonic the Hedgehog. In every form and media, he's still our favorite lovable blue hedgehog. And I'll see you guys all next time. Ciao.
But how will I know when I get there?